Hey, and welcome to this episode of the Hustle Report by Profit Duel. I'm really excited to welcome you to this deep dive. Today, we're going to explore what it actually takes to turn that passion for photography into a genuinely profitable side hustle. Our mission, really, is to unpack this whole idea, drawing on insights and practical steps directly from our own articles on the topic.
Yeah, and honestly, the timing for this conversation, it feels perfect. We're in this, dynamic gig economy moment, so many opportunities popping up. And you add to that this huge global demand for visual content, think social media, online businesses. Photography isn't just a hobby anymore for a lot of people. It's actually a really relevant, feasible side hustle right now.
I totally agree. It feels like so many people are looking for that thing, right, where passion meets, well, putting some cash in your pocket.
Right.
Okay, let's unpack this then. For someone listening, maybe they've got a decent camera, maybe just gathering dust, or their phone's full of great snaps. What does photography as a side hustle really mean? How does it actually work day to day?
Well, essentially, yeah, it means you're taking those skills you already have.
Right, the ones you've been building up.
Exactly. And using them for different market needs. Think beyond just, pretty pictures. We're talking about covering actual events, like maybe a wedding, could be a corporate thing, or even local sports.
Okay.
Or it could be doing portrait sessions, for
Yeah.
families, grads, even professional headshots for LinkedIn and stuff. And another angle, one people sometimes overlook, is stock photography. You put your images up, they get licensed. That can be passive income over time.
Oh, interesting.
But the real beauty here, I think, and a huge draw, it's the flexibility. You're not locked into a 9 to 5. You pick the jobs based on your skills, sure, but also your availability.
That's key.
Totally. So you can balance it with your main job, family, whatever else you've got going on. You're pretty much in the driver's seat with your schedule.
That flexibility that's massive. It really opens up the idea of a second income for folks who just can't commit to a rigid part-time thing. But let's dig a bit deeper. Okay, making extra cash, obviously that's a big reason. But what about the less obvious perks, the things that might surprise people when they dive in?
Oh, definitely. It's way more than just the money. For a lot of people, it's almost like a personal transformation. First off, it's this incredible creative outlet. Sometimes turning that passion into a side job actually boosts your artistic side.
Willie?
How so? Well, instead of just shooting for yourself, having a client, maybe a specific brief, it can kind of force you to try new things. New styles, different lighting, techniques you wouldn't normally bother with. It pushes you, but in a good way, makes you see things differently.
Huh. So it's not just churning out work, it's actually growing as an artist through the work. That's pretty powerful.
Exactly. Then there's that flexibility we mentioned, but it's worth stressing again. You work when you want. Evenings, weekends, maybe odd free hours. That freedom, it's huge. And beyond that, it's just a massive chance to get better.
Yeah.
Skill enhancement, right? Every new job, every different client, every weird location, it forces you to hone your skills in the real world.
Yeah, I bet.
Like a wedding teaches you speed and low light, product shots demand precision, portraits, you got to learn to connect with people, direct them. You're constantly learning by doing, getting diverse experience. You improve way faster than just as a hobbyist.
I could definitely see how those real-world pressures would just accelerate everything.
Absolutely. And yeah, the extra income is important. It can really help with financial goals, maybe a deposit, paying debt, or just having more fun money. But there's also the networking. That's often underestimated.
How so?
Well, you meet clients, obviously. But you also connect with other photographers, maybe event planners, local business owners, creative types. These connections can lead to collaborations, referrals, maybe even mentoring. It builds your professional circle in unexpected ways. It can be a real community.
Okay, that's a really compelling list. Growth, freedom, money, community. It sounds great, but like you said, it's not always perfect lighting, right? There have got to be challenges. What are some of the potential pitfalls, the drawbacks people should really know about before jumping in?
You're absolutely right. Got to go in with eyes open. There are definitely hurdles. Maybe the biggest initial one, equipment costs.
Yeah, the gear.
Exactly. Good cameras, the right lenses, lighting, even decent tripods. It adds up. It can be a pretty substantial investment up front. Now, you can start smaller, sure, but for really professional results, you often need to spend some money.
So it's an investment.
Think of it that way, yeah.
Yeah.
An investment. But hey, there are ways around just buying everything new. You could rent specific gear for certain jobs, Or check out the used market. You can find really good quality secondhand stuff if you look. Saves cash early on.
That's a smart way to manage it. What else? What other challenges are there?
Well, then there's the market itself. It's competitive. Really competitive.
Yeah, seems like everyone's a photographer these days.
Kind of feels like it sometimes. So just being good often isn't enough. You really have to work at standing out, marketing yourself, finding a unique style, building a recognizable brand. It takes effort. You're competing on visibility, not just skill.
Makes sense.
Another big one. It can be super time-consuming. People often forget this part. It's not just the shooting time, the editing, post-processing. That can eat up way more time than the actual shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, like a 1-hour portrait session might mean 3, 4, even more hours of culling photos, editing, getting them ready for the client. People often underestimate that massively.
Wow. Okay, so it's definitely not just point and shoot. And I guess the income isn't always steady, especially at first.
Precisely. Earnings can be, well, unpredictable. Your income can swing wildly depending on how many gigs you land, what type they are. Some months might be great, full of events or weddings. Others might be quiet. You often have to hustle a bit, maybe find smaller jobs or focus on stock photos to smooth things out.
So managing that inconsistency is key.
Yeah. And lastly, dealing with clients. Client demands can be tough. Everyone has different tastes, different expectations, their own vision. Learning to manage that, communicate clearly, sometimes set boundaries, and still deliver photos they love. That takes good people skills. Patience, too. Lots of patience sometimes.
Okay, that's a really clear-eyed view of the hurdles. So factoring in the costs, the time, the competition, what does it all mean for earning potential? Like, realistically, what can someone expect to make? Per hour, maybe?
Yeah, the earning potential, it really does vary a lot. Like we said, depends on all those factors. But we do have some solid figures to give you an idea. ZipRecruiter did a survey recently, and they found the average hourly rate for freelance photographers in the U.S., it kind of spans from around, say, $17 up to maybe $55 an hour.
Wow, that's a huge range, from $17 to $55.
It really is. Quite a spread. Now, the median rate, that tends to sit around $27 an hour.
Okay, $27 middle ground.
But what's really interesting is why the range is so wide. Location is a big factor. Big city rates are usually higher than rural areas. Experience, massive difference. A pro with years under their belt and a great reputation can charge way more.
Naturally.
And your specialty matters a ton. Like if you're doing high-end corporate events for big companies, you might easily pull in $50, $70 an hour, maybe more. But someone starting out doing quick family mini sessions in a smaller town, they might be closer to that, $20 mark.
Right.
The specific type of photography commercial, fine art, weddings, portraits, that really shifts what you can earn.
That makes total sense. It's not just one job title,
Right.
photographer. It's about what kind of photographer you are and where. Okay, so for people listening who are excited by this, they see the potential, they're ready for the challenges. Let's get practical. If you want to actually start this journey, what's the roadmap? Where do you even begin?
Right. First things first, and this is maybe the most crucial step, skill assessment. You've got to be really honest with yourself about your current skills. What are you actually good at? Capturing candid moments. Are you meticulous with details for product shots? Good at making people relax for portraits?
Okay, know thyself.
Pretty much. Understanding your strength and what you actually enjoy doing helps you pick your niche. Then, once you have an idea of your focus, you absolutely need a strong portfolio.
The visual resume.
Exactly. And it needs to be good, like really good. Quality over quantity. Show only your best work and make sure it lines up with the clients you want to attract. Each photo should really showcase your style.
So if I want to shoot weddings, don't fill it with amazing landscape shots.
Precisely. Target your portfolio. Next up, setting your rates. You can't just guess. You need to research. What are other photographers charging in your area for your kind of work?
Right.
Factor in your time, your gear costs, your experience, the value you bring. Maybe start a little lower to get clients initially, but don't undersell yourself either. Find that balance. And these days, an online presence is just non-negotiable.
Website, social media.
Yeah, probably both. But definitely more than just Instagram. Think about a professional website, easy place for people to see your best work, learn about what you offer, contact you. Keep your branding consistent everywhere.
Makes sense. People need to find you easily. So how do you get those first actual paying gigs?
Networking. It's absolutely key. Connect with other photographers seriously. They can be a great source of advice, referrals, sometimes even gigs helping them out.
Oh, interesting. Like second shooting.
Exactly. And actively connect with potential clients. Join industry groups, online or local ones. Building that professional circle helps you reach more people. And hey, networking isn't just big events, it can be engaging online, reaching out thoughtfully. Also, don't overlook freelance platforms, Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer.
Right.
They can be really good for finding those first few jobs, getting some reviews under your belt, building credibility. Maybe the rates aren't top tier starting out, but it's experience.
Yeah, those initial testimonials are gold when you're starting.
Definitely. And finally, don't forget local outreach. Just offer your services to people you know, friends, family, maybe local small businesses. Does a local cafe need menu photos? A friend want new family pics? These first jobs are great for building confidence, getting feedback, and getting those crucial testimonials.
Good point.
Just be clear if you're doing it at a discount for your portfolio and when that offer ends. Manage expectations.
That's a super clear, really practical roadmap. Thanks. Okay, so let's zoom out again. What does all this mean in the bigger picture? Photography as a side hustle.
Yeah.
What's the main takeaway for our listeners?
Well, connecting it all, I think it's clear that this side hustle offers this really unique mix. You get creative fulfillment, you get real flexibility, and you get tangible financial rewards. It can tick a lot of boxes, whether you're just looking to add to your income, save for something specific, or honestly just indulge that passion for capturing moments. It's a genuinely fulfilling path, lets you show your unique view of the world. And it's a big but you got to remember, like any successful hustle, it doesn't just happen.
Right.
Success needs real dedication. You have to keep learning, and you need that perseverance to push through the challenges we talked about. It really is about finding that sweet spot, where your passion meets practicality, turning art into something sustainable.
That's a fantastic summary. Really highlights that balance, passion, and pragmatism, the whole journey aspect. And speaking of challenges and standing out, considering how packed the photography world is, here's something to think about. How am I focusing really deeply on a specific niche instead of trying to do everything be the actual key, maybe the surprising key, not just to sustainable success, but to finding real differentiation and even creative freedom in this side hustle world? Something for you to mull over. That's it for this episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.